Hello, Year 2, and welcome to our active read session. This is session 6 and is the second part of Old Bear. For today's lesson, you're going to need pen, paper, and your listening ears again. Let's remind ourselves of VIPers. This time, can you tell me what they stand for? V is for vocabulary, I is for inference, P is for prediction, well done. E is for explanation, R is for retrieval, and S is for sequence and summary. Well done. We're going to start with our red words. These are our sight words that we help us read with fluency and speed. The more we read by sight, the more we're likely to understand. So let's get started. We're going to do it with my turn, your turn. Remember, my turn, your turn. My turn. Live, your turn. Really. Poor. I. Coming. He's. Again. Parents. Another. Though. Well done. And I have a game that you might like to play. So this week, your game could be to create your very own precision grid. You can choose 4 words, red words that you find tricky, and put them into a table like this. And you can draw this table yourself. You don't have to do it on a computer. And you put these words in a different order. Make sure there's one of each word on each line. How many times can you say the words in 1 minute? And you can keep your score and see if you can beat it throughout the week. So lesson 1 for this week, there are 3 lessons this week as there's less time as well. So I've made sure you've got plenty to do, but not rushing you either. So today we're going to be making inferences from a text. Before we begin, let's remind ourselves of the story of Old Bear, and I've put the pictures up from your activity last week. What is the title of the text? Can you name all the characters? What are the characters trying to do? And here's a picture after Rabbit and Little Bear went off on the wooden aeroplane. You can see that Little Bear has managed to get up on top of the trapdoor. How was Bramwell feeling when he could see Little Bear holding onto the trapdoor? The characters were successful. How does this make you feel to see them being successful? Have you had a time when you had to try lots of different ways to succeed? How did it make you feel? Pause here to see if you can answer these questions. The little plane flew beautifully. Oh, I'm going to start that sentence again. The little plane flew beautifully, and the first time they passed the trapdoor, Little Bear was able to push the lid open with his paintbrush. Then Rabbit circled the plane again, this time very close to the hole. Little Bear grabbed the edge, and with a mighty heave, he pulled himself inside. He got out his torch and looked around. The attic was very dark and quiet, full of boxes, old clothes, and dust. He couldn't see Old Bear at all. "Any bears in here?" he whispered, and stood still to listen. From somewhere quite near, he heard a muffled grrr, followed by, "Did someone say something?" Little Bear moved a few things aside, and there, propped up against a cardboard box and covered in dust, was Old Bear. How do Rabbit and Little Bear feel knowing they opened the door on the first try? How else could the author have described with a mighty heave when Little Bear pulled himself inside the attic? How would you feel if you were somewhere dark, quiet, and dusty, then heard a muffled grrr? Pause here to answer the questions. And here's the picture of Old Bear and Little Bear in the attic. Can you name some adjectives to describe the attic? Describe how Old Bear must be feeling after being rescued by his friends. Pause here to answer your questions. Little Bear jumped up and down with excitement. Old Bear! Old Bear! I found Old Bear! So you have, said Old Bear. Have you been lonely? Asked Little Bear. Quite lonely, said Old Bear, but I've been asleep a lot of the time as well. A lot of the time. Well, said Little Bear kindly. Would you like to come back to the playroom with us now? That would be lovely, replied Old Bear. But how will we get down? Don't worry about that, said Little Bear. Bramwell has thought of everything. He has given us these handkerchiefs to use as parachutes. What did Old Bear do to stop feeling lonely? And I now have an activity for you. Can you act out this page of Old Bear? Think about how you would use your voice, that's expression with your voice, your facial expressions to show your feelings, and your body language to show the feelings too. Pause here before you carry on to the next lesson. And here's lesson 2. Lesson 2 is all about vocabulary and being able to use the vocabulary in a text to understand what I am reading. So if you paused and you're doing this another day, here's some retrieval questions for you. What is the title of our text? Who is the author? Describe one of the failed ideas to rescue Old Bear. Good old Bramwell, said the old teddy. I'm glad he didn't forget me. Old Bear stood up and shook the dust off his fur, and Little Bear helped him into his parachute. They went over to the hole in the ceiling. Ready, shouted Rabbit. Steady, shouted Duck. Go, shouted Bramwell Brown. The two bears leapt bravely from the hole in the ceiling. Their handkerchief parachutes opened out and they floated gently down, landing safely in the blanket. How can you tell how Old Bear is feeling? What other adverbs could the author have used to describe how the bears leapt and floated? So you'll see that I've highlighted the adverbs. The author has used leapt bravely and floated gently. Could you change the adverbs, your ly words? Pause here to have a go. Welcome home, Old Bear, said Bramwell Brown, patting his friend on the back. The others patted him too, just to make him feel at home. It's nice to have you back, they said. It's nice to be back, replied Old Bear. Why did the characters pat Old Bear on the back? The author used the adjective nice twice, and you can see I've highlighted here. What other adjectives could they have used instead? Pause here to answer the questions. That night, when all the animals were tucked up in bed, Bramwell thought about the day's adventures and looked at the others. Rabbit was dreaming exciting dreams about bouncing as high as an aeroplane. Duck was dreaming that he could really fly and was rescuing bears from all sorts of high places. Little Bear was dreaming of all the interesting things he had seen in the attic, and Old Bear was dreaming about the good times he would have now he was back with his friends. Said Bramwell happily. I knew it was going to be a special day. How does the author describe Rabbit's dreams? What interesting things do you think could have been in the attic? Did the story end how you thought it would? Why? Can you explain your thoughts and ideas? Pause here to answer the questions before the next lesson. And we're now on our final lesson of the week. This is lesson 3. I can explain my ideas and opinions. We have actually finished the story, so today I would like you to draw and write about either one or all of the following. Who is your favourite character? What was your favourite part? What was your favourite setting? Don't forget to use because to explain why, that's your conjunction, and use adjectives to describe. You can also have a look. I'm going to share a different screen with you on YouTube, and I'll put the link on our remote learning. There is a video of the Old Bear episodes, and I used to watch these when I was little with my mum, and there's lots more stories all about Old Bear. This one is the first story, the one we've just read. I hope you enjoyed your active read. Oops, a daisy. I hope you enjoyed your active read this week, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.